Welcome back to our broadcast. We are joined today by Chekspir. Hello,
Hi,
Cheks.
Nick.
Good to see you again.
Nice to see you. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you, sir. Thank you
First
for
off,
coming
we'd like
over.
to tell everybody that we saw each other earlier this year.
Yes, we saw each other in Argentina on TCO Regional. It was a very good experience for us. exploring, exploring Buenos Aires. Huh?
Yeah, we were
It was
doing
actually
that.
really good.
And Chekspir was gracious enough to come from Santiago, Chile, to visit with us. It was more of a coding competition there, but you did give a design presentation, and it seems that you have reached out to some people there that might have thought about
Yes,
going into
exactly.
design.
It was a very interesting experience because we had a design workshop on a developed crowd. So everyone was like with high expectation about what I was going to talk about, what is design, how the design directly relates with the coding. So it was really interesting even for me because this is the first time that I talk about design to a crowd that doesn't understand the design language. So
Yeah.
it's really complex.
Let's actually rewind a little bit for the people who may not know you. So you're in the design track, and how did you start? What's your background? When did you start with Top Coder? Maybe how'd you find out about it? Kind of your journey a little bit. Okay.
Yes, well, actually, my story is a little bit curious because I started in Top Coder as a developer. I was working as a UI prototype, but then I realized that I had really good skills on the design field. So, on my first challenge ever as a designer, I won a first place.
What?
So
In your first
yes,
one?
exactly, and that was like an adrenaline to me. So I got totally in love with these design competitions. So later of that, I became a co-pilot. I talked with Adam in Indonesia. Actually, I met you in Indonesia in
Yeah.
2015, and I told him that I would like to become a co-pilot. So he told me, okay, you have a very good background as a developer, now as a designer. So I think you are going to be a good co-pilot. So I started my training, and here I am. Like 3 years later, working as a co-pilot. I really love this work.
Yeah.
Yes, because it also allows me to grow up as a professional by learning new tools, learning new things through the process, and also working for big companies, solving real life problems. So this is a very nice way to learn. Okay.
That's
Yeah,
great.
and also
While
talking to the
working.
clients and getting feedback from the clients, and kind of
Exactly,
you get to
exactly.
be in between the two sides because you've been there on the design,
Yes,
and then working.
exactly,
Yeah,
exactly. So basically, being a co-pilot and also a competitor give me the chance to understand the competitors how while I'm writing the challenge specification. So if I write the challenge, I try to make it clear for the designers, so the designers can understand everything really easy. They can work directly without any issues. You know,
Okay. Yeah.
if I write something really complex, eh, they can start making a lot of questions. So I can go back to the client, hey, why do you need this? So it's really crazy. So as I'm a designer myself, I think is one of the key features of being a good copilot because I know how the design competition works.
you already know what questions you would have if you were looking at the spec.
Exactly,
Right,
exactly, exactly. It's like I made the question to myself. So when the challenge is online, it's like we already have the answers.
Yeah, yeah, that's definitely helpful, especially for people like me who use copilots to, build out the work. You guys
Exactly,
are very helpful with
exactly.
that.
So you're here now at the TCO. You won the trip, so you don't have to compete for anything. You get to kind of enjoy it. But we
Exactly.
wanted to have you on to kind of give some commentary about what's going on right now. So
Sure.
we're currently on semifinal 2, and if I understand correctly, the specs are the same as semifinal 1.
Correct. Yeah.
Yes, it's the same. They are working on the same design problem from the first round semifinals. So
So
Okay.
it's the dashboard for HON.
exactly,
Yep.
it's a dashboard.
Yep.
So we're gonna see some things that are pretty similar. Maybe, maybe not. We'll see.
Similar requirement, but
Similar
different approaches,
requirements.
right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So let's dive right in. First up, we have Abba de Vera. So it looks like he's using Adobe XD.
Adobe, see, this is actually a new tool in the design industry. Not everyone is working with this tool these days.
Okay. We were told that there was one member who was really pushing for
Yeah,
other
Toxic
members
Pixel.
to Toxic
Toxic
Pixel.
Pixel.
Is
Yes,
that correct?
Toxic Pixel.
Look at the number of challenges on Abdevera there.
Okay, he is really
Oh, wow.
advanced in the design.
Yeah. What makes you say that?
It will be great if he can show you. if he can show us a little bit
Come
more.
on,
of the
Abba de
design.
Vera. Oh,
Yes,
thank you. He
exactly,
heard us.
thank
He
you.
heard us.
Well, it's actually a very clean design. I like how he's using the white spaces and how he's using the green and blue to highlight some elements on the design.
Yeah, it looks like he's showing interaction there too.
Yes, exactly. He added some cursors on the screen.
And if we take a look at his stats, he's competed in over 1,400 challenges, has 213 wins.
Yes, he is actually one of our veterans in the in the design track in Top Coder.
That
He
is
has won several times in the past.
just several.
Just several, like 5 times the world champion.
3 Lux wins, 3 Rux wins. For those who don't know, can you explain what a Rux and Lux is, or the difference between them?
Yes, well, actually, Lux and Rocks, they are very similar, but the main difference is the Lux challenge are live on an event like this one on TCO. And Rocks challenge, we have a very tight deadline. Usually, we have to design an entire application in just 72 hours. Something that really attract the designers to this kind of challenge is the big prices that we have for this kind of prices. It's like $2,000 only for the first place. If you see that from a business perspective, it's like, okay, you work for 3 days, working hard in front of your computer, and if you win you can earn $2,000. Okay, this is very very interesting for everyone, so that's why this kind of challenge, Rocks and Locks, attract too many members to participate. Something that I really like about this kind of challenge is the difficult it's like the level of complexity in the problem. It's
Okay.
not the typical design challenge where we have to create, I don't know, like a landing page or a simple website. Usually on Lux and Rock challenge, we have to work hard on projects like augmented reality.
Augmented reality. Wow, that's kind of cool.
reality,
Like latest technology kind of stuff.
artificial intelligence. So we have to add some really complex elements in our designs. So if Abedavera have won like 3 Locks and 3 Roxes,
Very impressive.
It's very impressive. It's very impressive because if you see the number of active members right now in Top Coder, so this is a very good number of winning for this kind of challenge. Especially because we have this kind of challenge like one every 2 months. So it's
Right.
not usual to have a Lux or a Rock challenge live in our challenge listing page.
I see. All right, let's move on over to Aviv. And it turns out he's a first-time finalist, huh?
Yes, he is first-time finalist. I met him before in Indonesia.
Uh-huh.
He's a really nice guy. He has a very good sense of design. Actually, he has participated on some of my challenges as a co-pilot.
Okay.
He likes to work with really clean layout. Something that I really like about this designer, and also Rio Purbat, he's one of the finalists, is that they have like a futurist vision of the design. They always add some elements that are not common on the application these days.
Okay.
It's like they have a vision forward in the future.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like right now he's working on the stacks in the dashboard. He's using a sketch, no?
Looks like that, yeah. I think just make sure
So
everything's
many
spaced
designers
correctly.
this day have moved forward from Photoshop to Sketch.
Oh yeah.
Yes, myself, I still use Photoshop for some designs, and I use Sketch for others. All depends of the final look that I would like to look for my application. Because I think that Photoshop have like more power to control shadows and gradients color. Sketch is more fast. It's faster. Sorry for to design quickly layouts with repetitive boxes. For example, like product card pages,
Okay.
like listing dashboard where we have to add different elements with. It's the same UI element like the avatar and the name of the user, but you have to repeat the elements several
Right.
times. So
It's
this
easy
is
to do that.
exactly, it's really easy to do that in Sketch.
So it looks like he's got some stuff around the page. Maybe that's more for the presentation to the
I think it's more like the
judges.
wireframe that they provide in the challenge. So maybe when he zoom out the design, he can
Shows other
he-
assets and stuff.
exactly. He have like the colors, he have
I
the
see.
logo, the wireframe.
Yeah, and then you can just eyedropper those colors and reuse them.
Yes, and it's faster to do that, so you don't have to minimize the screen to see the wireframe and to take the colors.
All right. Next up, we have D Jack Mania.
Jack is back.
Jack is back, and why do you say that?
Actually, we say that because he disappeared like for a couple of
He
years.
disappeared.
Yes, he just stopped competing for a couple of years, but now he's back and he's a finalist. It's really good to see him designing. Jack, the Jackmania he has a similar style than Avedabera because they like to work with like dark themes.
Okay.
If you see Afif in the previous screen, he was working with a clean layout, light colors, like white. Okay, the Jackmania right now is working with a different color palette. It's like a dark theme. Okay, it's totally the opposite.
Yeah,
He's using
yeah.
the blue navy color as a background for the sign navigation. This I can see it's green, like this green.
Yeah, maybe like a teal,
yes,
turquoise.
teal to highlight. I'm actually a big fan of the dark theme applications because
They do look nice.
they make
They
it
pop.
look like exactly they look like a futurist application like Iron Man UI. Mm-hmm. It's really fun.
And it's
to
like
work.
light on this side, like a light. And I don't know if he'll keep it like that, but it seems to be a little lighter on the right, which is kind of cool.
Yes.
A little
yes.
contrast.
Yeah, but I think that maybe he's planning to add like a sign navigation that can be hidden, collapse.
Oh, yeah. Like a hamburger menu type sidebar?
Yes, exactly.
Okay, moving on. I am infinite.
Wow,
Okay,
he's
it
been
looks
doing a
like
presentation, huh?
yes, he's working on the presentation screen right now. It's
Wow.
like he already finished the design. Yes, he's working in Photoshop. I really like. This is my favorite tool so far.
Yeah, Photoshop.
Okay, this design looks more like like a corporate website or from my design perspective, it doesn't look like a dashboard.
Yeah.
It looks like more like a corporate landing page or something similar.
Okay.
Okay, or maybe we're seeing just one screen, no? He probably provide another screen with stacks and high level analytics.
Yeah, it looked like the
Yes,
the screen.
look,
What's this?
he have already like 4 screens already done.
Oh. So he's preparing a submission already.
Yes, well, actually, to create 4 or 5 screens in only 3 hours is really amazing. Not everyone can do that.
Unless you are infinite.
Yes, exactly. You have to be very very fast with your shortcut in your keyboard.
Really?
Yes, you you have to know your software very very well to be that fast.
And he's competing in 749, 137.
Warning to all UI design competitors. There are 15 minutes remaining in the current UI design competition
Okay,
round.
we can move to another
Let's
design.
go to Paraviki.
Pretty big. She's also a first time finalist this year. She have a very impressive journey in top coder these days. Because
what I've heard,
I was
yeah.
talking with her early, and she joined in the community around May this year, and she's also a co-pilot right now.
She's a co-pilot already?
Yes, she's a co-pilot already.
But
So she joined in May.
Joined in May.
She's working as a finalist here, and she's a co-pilot. It's really really impressive.
Oh, that's definitely more dashboard than the last one we were looking at.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. So I was talking with Trevor before, and he told me that one of the key for this challenge is to design something that is really really easy to use. So the designer have to focus on show everything on the screen. They have to avoid to hide elements, something like they have to click 2 or 3 times to approach anything on the screen. No, that is the wrong way to do this challenge. They have to focus on simplicity to make everything really easy to use.
Okay. All right. And are you seeing that here? Simple? Does it look?
Yes, exactly. Because if we see the actions column on the table, she is providing like shortcuts, like quick actions buttons to several features on the design. Is really smart, especially to show everything on the screen. She's not hiding anything behind a drop down feature or hiding anything that needs to be approached by clicking 2 or 3 times. Everything is really simple and easy to use on the screen.
Well, let me ask you this: as a new, as being a first timer here at TCO,
Okay.
you know, these competitions are a little different than the ones you'll find on our site, right? Sometimes you get like a week to complete something. Is this, do you think this is a little more difficult for maybe first timers who aren't used to designing so quickly? Or,
Yes, of course, it's more difficult because of the timeline. You have to work in only 3 hours, but you need to focus only on what they are asking for. When we have a whole week to design something, we have time to propose new features, to propose elements that can improve the design a lot. But here we don't have that time, so we have to design only what they are asking for.
okay.
Especially my advice. Actually, I was talking with Pere Vicky yesterday. I told her that don't focus or don't spend too much time working on the header, on the site navigation, because that is something that is really like regular on every design. You have to focus on the core problem. Okay, so if you want to spend time doing something, spend that time on the key feature of the challenge. Okay, don't spend too much time working on the header and every other UI element that is really easy to use in just 5 minutes. Okay.
Interesting. And what would you say is the main elements that to concentrate on here for this particular problem?
For this particular problem, if I were designing, I will focus on creating like the high-level stacks for the dashboard, really easy to use and to understand. Especially the shortcuts, for example, to answer the phone call, to launch the phone call. Everything should be really easy to use.
Well, that's the whole point of a dashboard too. I mean, dashboard, the term dashboard of a car, you just want to be able at a glance to see where you're at. And if things are buried, as you said, if you start window shading things or having to click in to get information, you're not going to get that overall view. So that's what the client's looking for, is ease of use, and
Exactly.
and you don't want the user to get fatigued by having to do so much. It allows them to do their job action rather than manipulate the tool.
So a dashboard always show you like the overall view of the application without the need of too many clicks.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So everything should be really easy to see in the screen.
Exactly. So going from a rookie to a veteran, let's move over to Yoki. Unfortunately, we have to skip over SSP as we cannot grab his broadcast right now.
His
But
machine's not working.
Okay.
here is Yoki.
Well, Jokic is one of our veterans. He is every year he is on the finals.
Yeah.
I don't know how he do it.
Well, he's got 747 challenges under his belt and over 100 wins. That might help.
He's on some amazing numbers. Okay, he's working on the presentation screen as well. Okay, his design is very clean, looks very professional.
Okay.
Something that I really like is his layout is totally different from the other that we have seen in the past. If you see the other design, everyone have like a sign navigation. Jockey doesn't have one.
That's true,
So
yeah.
that makes his design very unique.
Maybe he didn't think there was a need for a side navigation. Looks like there might be a top navigation. A little
Yes,
one up
he's
there.
working with a top navigation. So it's a different approach. It's actually really smart to do that, because when we talk about dashboard, everyone thinks initially on a side navigation. So
Yeah, but if you could do it at the top, then you have more screen resolution or screen real
exactly,
estate.
exactly. So you have more screen resolution to add more elements that can be more important to the user.
Yeah.
And I mentioned in an earlier show when I went to Indonesia, I met a lot of you for the first time. And Yoki was a really nice guy, very friendly. And he told me a story of how he's earned enough money through Top Coder to build his own house. He's living in a house that he built with Top Coder money, which is
I
crazy.
know the story. It's really amazing. It's really amazing. And this is something that I really love about this community. How this community help everyone, including me, to grow up as a professional, as a human being. It's really beautiful to hear this kind of stories in Top Coder. So it's like the perfect example that everyone takes this very seriously,
Right.
because this
Yeah.
is the full-time work for many members.
Yeah, a lot of designers, yeah. We have actually Yoki and Abdevera coming up next.
Oh, great.
For a post-match interview, so we can ask him about his approach too.
Is there any question you think we should ask them post-match?
Yes.
What's a good question to ask them?
A good question, I think, would be how does they feel about their design?
Their particular design. Maestra told us that there's always like this process after a match where you're just thinking like, oh, should I have done that? Should I not have done
Exactly. Sometimes when we see our own design after a few hours, we can actually think like, okay, this is really ugly.
that? Oh no.
I don't know why I submitted this.
So everyone gets really hard on
change
themselves?
that. Yeah, I can change that in the second round.
Uh-huh.
That happened to me a lot in the past.
Oh really?
So when I start designing on the second round, it's like designing from scratch.
Mm-hmm.
I can always reuse some elements from the previous round, but sometimes that happens a lot. We see our design is like, wow, it's horrible.
Have you ever in a previous match gone one direction and then like in the next round just go completely different?
Yes, a lot.
A lot?
That happened a lot. Especially after the feedback, because when we have the feedback, sometimes the feedback doesn't help. It's like
You are said the same thing too. If they say it looks nice, that's the worst feedback you could get too.
exactly.
It's like,
So
yeah, it looks good.
the feedback is like it's taking you to the totally different direction. So when you're in front of the computer, it's like, okay, I need to do something to get a better feedback for the next round. So I have to redo everything again. I have to design from scratch while reusing some UI elements from the previous design. But of course, that happened a lot.
And do you feel like you're at a disadvantage at that point? Because some people may not have had to restart it. They're just like continuing on there and perfecting their current design. Or
Not
you don't
at
find
all.
it too?
Not at all. For me, it's not something that can distract me. Okay, so I think that I can personally focus on my design and just focus and make something unique for the next round.
And I know that there's a fun fact that's funny because we had Maestro on earlier. You guys knew each other before Top Coder.
Yes, he was actually my boss in a company that we used to work together in Venezuela.
Uh-huh.
Actually, he was the person who introduced me to Top Coder.
Yeah.
Yes, I was a rookie back in that time. I was studying engineer in college.
Uh-huh.
I was ending my college degree, so he was my boss in the company.
And you were
company,
coding?
yes, exactly. That company was the first company that opened the doors to me to work. So I found Maestro, and now he's my friend. He's my like, it's like my Miyagi-san's in
My Miyagi.
I didn't find the correct word in English.
yeah. Your sensei.
My sensei, yes, correctly.
That's great. And since then, so you moved from Venezuela. What countries have you lived in since?
I'm living. I live in Colombia for 5 years,
Colombia.
and we moved last year to Chile. We are now in Chile, and we are very happy there.
And we went to that not design regional, but a regional event in Argentina. I know you're pretty passionate about wanting to bring more designers into South America, right?
Yes, I would love to have more designers in Latin America. That was one of the reasons of why I traveled to Argentina to start promoting the design community in the Ecuador. Because I think that we need more designers from this side of the world.
Yeah.
Because many designers are from Indonesia, from India, from China. So it will be better for the community to have like different cultures working on design track, as we have right now in algorithm, for example.
Get another flavor at least, maybe,
Exactly.
and some new.
The Latin flavor.
A little Latin flavor. Bring that Latin flavor to the design.
I'm glad you said that. Not
I think I was leaning him toward that question.
Yes, exactly.
And again, you brought your lovely wife here, who's here supporting you.
Yes, she is a really fan of Top Coder. It's
Yeah?
like, yes, she's always asking me when is the next TCO. I want to go there. Don't leave me at home, okay?
Don't leave me at home. Take me with you. How are you enjoying this town? Texas is a new spot for us, so.
It's a new spot. Actually, last night when we saw the longhorn cow,
Longhorn,
it was
yeah.
an amazing experience for me. I never saw that animal before in my life.
I was actually disappointed because I've seen all the Facebook pictures flying by of it, and it looks like
It looks
fake.
fake.
Like a statue.
Yeah.
It looks like
Exactly.
a caricature of what you think a longhorn. That's exactly
We
what
have
it was,
to
and it was
add the
right
name
over
like
there.
it's a real cow.
I hope somebody got video. I think
That would have
Sadiqa
been
got
better.
video.
Oh, he must have.
Yeah.
He must have.
I'm pretty sure.
That was
he did
crazy.
it.
And this venue, how do you like this compared to past?
Amazing.
Yeah?
The stage this year is amazing. It's so much bigger than previous year.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's like the center point. I feel like the
Yes.
the action
Yes.
is like right in the center, right?
But
Instead
especially
of the
right now,
sides.
I like the way that we are talking and we have the members
Yeah.
competing behind us. It's really good. It's really good.
That's
So
awesome.
it feels that we are all connected on the stage.
right.
Yeah.
That's good. That's the
And we
feeling
also
we're
want to
getting.
make the people out there feel like they're here, you know?
Exactly.
Get the feeling for it so they try. They work harder, right?
You can also smell the food when
Yeah. Saying dinner time. All right. It looks like our competitors are wrapping up. I'm sure we can't get their footage anymore. A lot of them are unplugging. So I think that's all the time we have right now. But hopefully we get to talk to you a little bit later. A lot
Sure,
of design
I
left.
would love to do that.
Are you going to attend the design workshops?
Yes, tonight. I'm going to attend the design workshop.
Awesome.
Very cool. Well, we'll talk to you later, Chekspir. Thank you so
Thank
much
you for this
joining us.
opportunity.
Thanks for talking to us. Appreciate it.
We'll be back in about 2 to 5 minutes, so stay tuned. We are going to have an interview with a post-match interview with Yoki and Abadavero. Stay tuned.